All right. Well, good morning, everybody. Just for everybody's benefit, this will be part of our series on manufacturing for the month of October. I'm really happy to be able to welcome John with DVC Cleaner. John, how's everything going today?
Good for a Monday. Wait. It's Wednesday already?
Wednesday.
Understand. Yeah, so we really wanted to take a chance. We're going to put this out there for everybody to use on multiple channels, but we wanted to really give some of the businesses here in the South County that make the county great, bring amazing jobs. There's a lot of creative industry here that people don't even think about every day. It's amazing when we go around and you see the businesses that are in South County, how many people would think about the things that it takes to make things work. So making sure that we have sterile environments, clean environments is amazing, but a lot of people on a daily basis probably don't think about that. So that's why we wanted to really highlight some of the manufacturers here in South County, especially being October South being manufacturing month. That's why we're here today with you, John. And I wanted to kick it off to Ephraim to actually introduce you in the business a little bit more formally.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thank you. And I'm gonna share my screen really quick for everybody that it's tuning in right now or will be tuning in after this. This is gonna be available afterwards, so it's being recorded. That way, you can have a chance to see this afterwards. But South County EDC celebrates Manufacturing Day today, kicking off with John Newhart from DVC. And there's a hashtag that a lot of people in the nation are using right now, which is hashtag MFG Day 20. And Manufacturing Day occurs every year on the first Friday in October. This year, it fell on October 2nd. And in 2019, just so everybody knows, the President of the United States signed an official proclamation acknowledging National Manufacturing Day. And for all of you out there that are part of workforce development, this is something for us to really understand and see what the future is going to look like. But over the next decade, 4.6 million manufacturing jobs will need to be filled. And that is very important for us to understand economic development and work with our stakeholders, especially here in the South Bay, and connect very well with our manufacturers to see what they need in order to support and help this effort. And so what is Manufacturing Day? Manufacturing Day addresses common misperceptions about manufacturing by giving manufacturers an opportunity to open their doors and show in a coordinated effort what manufacturing is and what it isn't. And so today, we're celebrating Manufacturing Day with dry vapor cleaner. Our speaker for today is John Newhart, the president of DVC, and we're very honored to have him today. And if I may, I would like to read a short bio of Mr. Newhart. As an endurance obstacle racer and marathoner, John Newhart knows how to overcome challenges. He has always been a consummate learner. John was the kid in the corner reading the encyclopedia, studied the thought leaders of our time and those who had risen to recognition over the ages. He learned from those people how to question the accepted, look at a complex challenges from a different perspective, and then resolve the issues at hand. Through his creative thinking, he was granted his first patent in his 20s. Way to go, John. John's passion is guiding businesses or business owners through unfamiliar territory and making the complicated simple. He gets a charge out of seeing the look of accomplishment and the smile of a business owner on his face at the end of a project. And relocating to San Diego from Cincinnati, Ohio, sorry, Cincinnati, we have one of your own, is a dream come true. Immersing himself into the community here in South County in San Diego, joining Rotary Club 33, he attended the 2013 Lead San Diego Influence Program for C-level executives, and he became active on several nonprofit boards. And so on a personal level, John enjoys time exploring all of the San Diego has to offer, like golf, racquetball, crew, flyboarding, and Spartan racing with his sons. And with that, it's an honor to have you, John Newhart. The floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Efrain. Very, very generous comments about me. Thank you so much. Happy to be here. Happy to be a part of Manufacturing Day, and really just to kind of open up and show you what we're doing here. So DVC is an innovative manufacturing company that we make and sell specialized cleaning equipment that is used to clean and sanitize just about anything. Our DVC, or dry vapor cleaner, is a patented technology that provides high pressure, high temperature. It's 300 degrees and up to 300 PSI, dry vapor steam that, again, will remove almost anything: dirt, grease, grime, chemicals, flux, toxins, contaminants, microorganisms, leaving the surface clean, dry, and sanitized. Additionally, we are a green company. The only thing that our equipment uses is water and heat. So we eliminate any chemicals, any toxins, any poisons. All those are removed from the process. And being the process is a dry vapor, and I'll get a little bit into that in a moment, there's no wastewater stream as well. So we're using very little water, and there's no water to dispose of. So not only are we a manufacturing company, but we actually supply manufacturing companies. We are in the aerospace industry, automotive industry, sports equipment, construction, and we also supply the military. We are cleaner, and I'm not sure if you get a complete view of it, and a little later we're going to kind of move around, but the silver one here, that's one that's used in hospitals, that use in their sanitization processing department to clean and sanitize the tools after a surgery. So you have a back surgery, or you get a new hip. The instruments that they use are then taken down, and the hospitals have a specific department for that. It's called sanitization processing department. And within that, that's where those tools are sanitized before they're used again. So we also have that unit, which is sold to the military, and the military uses that as a weapons cleaner. It is used all over. We've sold to the Army, to the Navy, to the Marines. It's been in Desert Storm and Desert Shield. And with that piece of equipment, the users can clean a weapon in less than 90 seconds, leaving it clean, dry, hot, and ready for lubrication. So that's without this assembly, that they can get in, get it cleaned, and get back in the action. As I mentioned, it's been used in Desert Storm, Desert Shield. That's really our flagship machine, which then again was put into stainless steel and then used into hospitals. We have additional military uses. We have a secondary machine, which is behind me down here with a little light on it. I think we can see that. That one we're going to be demoing for you in a little bit. And that is out there used to clean jets. We're over on North Island. We're cleaning the jets after they get an oil change. It's in the field cleaning helicopters after they're come back from a dirty, dusty mission out in the desert. The Special Forces guys have some that they use to keep their equipment clean. And that's our commercial use machine. Shooting ranges, target practice type people, military training facilities. As I mentioned, we've got some Special Forces training facilities throughout the country, in Europe and Japan, that use our equipment. We've got some places in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates. So we are all out and about with the equipment that we've got for the military as well. We also are in larger manufacturing facilities in their production line. And for example, our largest machine here is a 4-core machine, and we have a 6-core as well. That same machine that's used in production line, and that is the last thing that a part will see before it's plated, coated, painted, somehow other surface put on, because the way our equipment works, it will strip anything off of that that item. And whether it's metal, whether it's plastic, it's used in production lines for that purpose. It's also used in larger outdoor purposes. Here again, we've got some international people who were using those at border crossings to sanitize trucks that were coming across the border. I guess I can tell you a little bit about how our machines work, and really what we're doing with them, and how we're manufacturing those. So inside, and we'll say the small machine, but they're all basically the same. They just have more cores inside them. Inside each machine is a high-tech aluminum aerospace core, and that we heat up to 500 degrees. Then into the machine, we pump drops of distilled water. That distilled water immediately turns into that high pressure, high temperature dry vapor. Now, this is a little bit where it gets kind of techno-geek, because if you were to see it operate, and you will here in a moment, you'll say, oh, it's a steam cleaner. Technically, steam is 212 degrees. It's 38% water vapor. We elevate that temperature to 300 degrees, which reduces that water vapor to 4%. So by that, and you can see it's effervescent. It's kind of like smoke. I mean, you can grab it, but you can't really feel it. So, and that's the way that most of our users do use our equipment, because they are, you know, like I said, they're cleaning weapons, they're cleaning Navy ships, they're cleaning helicopters, the aerospace bits and pieces. I don't know. The secret is aerospace's secret. They won't tell me what they're doing. It's all confidential. We've all seen the parts out there, some places and here and there, but they won't let us take any pictures, so we can't tell you who those people are exactly. But they're all the big names in the aerospace industry. They're all the ones that are making the new aircraft, and they're using our equipment to clean the equipment in the production environment after it's produced, before it's actually put onto the aircraft. So, as I mentioned, after the drops are put in there, the output is 300 degree, 300 PSA dry vapor steam. Now, we also are in the circuit board industry, and we have been told by some of the biggest and best circuit board analyst people, and these are the people that will take boards from people like Google, Ford Motor Corporation, General Motors, who are looking at a potential recall situation for one of the boards that are in the vehicles or in the equipment that they have. They will do an analysis, they'll do testing, and they will see where those boards are failing. And in a lot of those cases, they recommend a rework of that board. And what that involves is a cleaning of a contaminant that has actually grown on the board, and they'll use our equipment to do that. They've told us that we're the best in the world for providing that equipment. The only reason I know to trust them is if there were something better out there, they'd be using it. So in those situations, they actually run our equipment not so dry. And here again, that gets really techno-geek, and that's way above my pay grade. But it has to do with the flux and how some of the sodium carbonate atoms and things are growing together and need to be removed. So they will actually run it in a more of a wet steam type of environment through the process, and then they use the dry to dry it off. And you can, sometimes it doesn't make sense. People wonder, well, how is that dry? And you can picture it if you've got a skillet that you've got to 300 degrees, and you splash a little water on it, the water will sizzle, and it's gone. And that's really how our equipment works as well. So in the manufacturing process, and here again, we are very fortunate to be in sunny San Diego, so close to the military, who accounts for a large portion of our business. And we have some specific items that are manufactured for us. And these are things that we can't actually make ourselves. We've got the high-tech aluminum aerospace core. As I mentioned, that's a A356 aluminum alloy. It's used in the aircraft as well. And that is a molded type of a process. And that's something, actually, that's not something that's available in San Diego County. So we have sources as far away as Los Angeles, and we actually have some sources just across the border in Mexico, where we can have those, because the foundry and molding work is kind of a dirty thing. And I think for that reason, San Diego doesn't want, we want more green type of environments here. And so we're not doing that here. So that's something we have specifically made to our specifications. We have the cases of our machines made to our specifications, because that requires a lot of specialized large benders and sealers and whatnot to make. And we also have a proprietary circuit board, which is made. That's kind of the brains of our equipment. And those are made for us. And those are made for us here in San Diego. And the cases as well are made in San Diego for us. So we take those three components, and then we've got a lot of other parts that we buy. They're, small parts. They're switches, wiring, lights, electrical components, electrical plugs, that type of thing. So we'll purchase those really from all over the country. We do have a lot of the suppliers that are located in San Diego as well that we work with. They come down, they can see what we need. They help us to make some improvements. And so we bring all those parts here, and we then do all of the putting it together, the making of the machines here. And that's, here again, to all the students that may be listening, there are so many different positions that even a small company like ours, and we've got, I don't know, 15, 16, 18, I'm not sure today. We've been actually going through a pretty big growth spurt this year. I think we've got 18 people that are working for us now. Some of them remote, but here again, the guys who are putting the piece together and making machines are coming here to our R&D center, where we actually do some service work as well. But we've got manufacturing, we've got sales, we've got design, we've got accounting, we've got international relations, people who are reaching out. As I mentioned, we've got people in Europe, we've got people in the United Arab Emirates, we've got people in South America, and we need somebody here to be reaching out to them to coordinate. We took a couple orders today for a company in Malaysia. And so we've got a lot of international exposure there where people can participate in that. We've got a guy who does our SEO. So, I mean, like I said, even a small company like ours, we've got a breadth of opportunities for good talent, and, people that are coming just out of the schools have that new knowledge. I mean, and we've got some guys who have been around for 20, 25 years experience, but the people that are learning now are on the cutting edge of what's new. And those are the people that I'm most interested in bringing in, because they've got ideas and thoughts and techniques that we don't know about. So that's something that is a very big plus when we're looking for people to bring on board. So that kind of covers the basics. I don't know if you've got any questions now. If you want me to pull in the demo and show you kind of how it works, and maybe that'll lead to some other specific questions you might have. Let's do that.
I think, John, that would be great if we can do demo first, and we'll go to Q&A.
Okay. I will have my partner join us. I'm going to try to manage to hold the video. He's going to take care of all the fun stuff. And what we've got is a manifold that came in from one of our clients. And let me see if we can get to this is actually our range package is what we call it. And you can see below, this is our 172, and that's a 2-core machine. That's got 2 of the high-tech aerospace aluminum cores inside it. And that's on a cart. We've got a complete waste containment cabinet here, which is, as you can see, it's lit. It's got fans. And then beneath here, we've got a drawer which actually captures the dirt and grit. Then that can be disposed of according to your local EPA jurisdiction. So as I mentioned, this is a manifold. Lots of times we'll have, especially during COVID, we've really gotten good at the Zoom stuff. We'll have people who want to send something in, and they'll send it as they get it. And here again, whether it's just dirty from cutting oil and fluids or grease from the manufacturing process, or whether it's a repair. We have a aerospace company in Miami that does repair of the thing that takes the wheels up and down. I'm going blank on the word right now, but it's
like the hydraulic.
Yes, yeah, it's the hydraulic pieces that they're there, and they also do something secret with the black box. Here again, they don't want to tell me either, but so they will have parts that come in that are dirty as well and need cleaned. We start off with just a plain nozzle on the wand, and here again, it's 300 degrees, it's 300 PSI. It's that temperature, that 300 degrees, which really breaks that carbon bond. So, and whether it's carbon or copper or flux, it's that temperature that breaks that bond between the grit and the item itself. It's that dry vapor that acts as an emulsifier, and it grabs that dirt, and it's the pressure that moves it off. Okay. So in most situations, we start out with just the wand and the straight nozzle. There are situations where people will use a variety of brushes or something just to get within, nooks or crannies. Or if it's sometimes there is some agitation that is required to remove any excess pieces. But I think we're just going to try the nozzle today and see how that works, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to move you in a little closer. There will be a little bit of vapor that shows up here. Hopefully we'll get a good view on how that looks. And you can see. Is that a fairly good picture of that? We get close
wow,
enough?
that's incredible. Yeah, really good.
Excellent. Now, and we do this on the demos here as well as when we go out to the locations. For demos, we only clean half of it because we get the before and after. But we also tell them that if we clean the whole thing, then we're going to have to charge them. So,
Wow,
so we're going to limit
really
that
good.
to just the and in here again on the cleaning of that. you can see afterwards, it's dry, it's clean, and this is a metal part, and it is 300 degrees. 300 degrees is hot. You want to be careful. You want to have it in your eyes or anything like that. We recommend goggles and whatnot for normal situations. Right. But as I mentioned, 300 degrees is hot, but it's not that hot. We clean plastic. We clean wood. We've got on the website. We've probably got 100 videos, but we've cleaned Navy ships inside, deep, dark, inside the engine compartment. But we've also cleaned yachts, and we've taken some of the teak and some of the wood out that's moldy, green, black, mildewed, all kinds of stuff, and we can use our equipment to clean that back to bare metal, or back to bare wood, and at that point they reseal it with the shellac or varnish or whatever else it may be that they use, and they can put it right back into the boat. And we clean plastic. Actually, last night we did a video for an auto detailer, cleaning some spots and some specific thing. Actually, the hood liner, we cleaned that pretty extensively, and we are used for auto detailers. This isn't a piece of equipment that you're going to use to clean the outside of a vehicle. It's not something that you're going to use to necessarily clean an entire seat, because there's shampoos and there's some different things that are really probably, they're definitely better for a situation like that. But what we do is we can clean the spots. We can clean the difficult things on the, and don't look for the videos yet because we haven't posted them yet. But we can clean the vents. It's an interesting thing. You can push through the vents and it'll come out the other vents. So in the video last night, we really get to see how that works. So you're cleaning the entire system inside. And for example, so we're in hotel chains. We're down in City Express down in Mexico. I don't know how many hundreds of units that they've got. Girls have got them on a cart, and when they go into a room, and it's not something they need to do every day, but once a week, once a month, there'll be some mildew or some mold on the bathtub. They'll fire up the machine. They'll take care of that. Anytime there's a spot on the carpet, they can take care of that. So it's, again, not something you're going to want to clean your entire room of carpet with, but this is the one that'll get the spots out, and this is the one that'll eliminate you having to clean, the entire thing for one spot.
Well, this leads to an actual story and question, John. I'm looking at your demo right now, and a vivid moment came up and popped up in my head when I was a little kid. My dad is and has been auto mechanics and diesel injection technician, and I was the one as a little kid that will go and clean the tools. I would have loved you if I met you before, because he's still around. He's the type of dad that will go and tell me, hey, I need those parts looking like brand new. So I saw your brushes, and all of a sudden that little kid popped up.
The memories came flooding back.
That's right. But it leads to an important question of how, and this is something very important, why we said in the beginning that we celebrate Manufacturing Day, and for us, Manufacturing Month, because kids out there that are watching, or that will be watching after it's recorded, it's how to connect with things like this. I mean, for them to understand that what's being manufactured in their own backyard, and how it's useful, for their own, but at the same time, how it's useful at jobs that may mean, job security in the future, if they understand and kind of sort of grow this passion for manufacturing. and that if they are good in studying, you know, accounting, and I love the fact that you were talking about how you connected to the students at that level of, you know, we need sales, we need this and that. So that's particularly what I'm talking about, where students can see the big picture. You know, if you can help us see the big picture, you know, you're speaking to the little kid, to that student,
Right.
and thinking, I'm not good in math, I'm not going to be an engineer, but I'm good in sales, I'm bilingual, I'm an accountant, you know, and whatnot. How can they be so essential to a manufacturing company like yours?
Well, and that is true, because you don't need to be good at math for all the different elements, and even engineering. And you brought up a great example. And here again, whether it's for a company like ours, where they're helping with the design or the thoughts. I mean, we're designing the wands, redesigning them, and we're hoping to have them for Christmas. And a lot of that's just the ideas of, okay, what do we want it to look like? What do we want it to do? How do we want it to be effective, to where it's the same form, fit, and function of what we have today, but improved? And that's there's no math in that. There's, that's the creative piece. I mean, it's almost, I mean, the designers we're working with, they're going to do some calculations and some things like that. But I need somebody who can talk to them saying, this is what the big picture, what we want it to look like and to function and how that works. But going on to another piece of it is we were in a demo, and again, I could tell you names and companies, but everybody would recognize them. The Fortune 100, those are our clients. Go on our website, you can see all of them. But it's a large automotive company that's just across the border that makes some trucks. So they have a tire roller line, and it's a roller assembly line, and it gets filthy. It gets filthy with a gunky type of a rubbery, tirey, dirty mixture. And they need to clean that once a week. And they also need to clean it once a month. They do a deep cleaning, they're shut down for the line, and they do that. So we went in and, talked to them about, what the situation was and what they're looking at and time-wise. Well, it's 50 meters, there's 10 of them per meter. There's about 500 of the rollers. And each one takes 5 to 6 minutes to clean. So we were able to show them how we could clean that in 20 seconds. And at that point, we've taken a project that takes them about 49.5 hours down to 4 hours and 38 minutes, I think. And when I asked them, I said, how clean is this? Is this the cleaning for the 1 week clean, or is this the cleaning for the 1 month cleaning, the deep clean? They said, no, it's neither of those. I was like, well, how can that be? They said, this is brand new clean. So when you mentioned that, I mean, and that's what we hear from our clients. We take it to a different level. So to come back to where that fits with the students, the people that we're working with are the quality control, the environmental, and then the purchasing people as well. So those are all people that, here again, the purchasing has some math to do, but the quality control, they're looking at where they can improve, where they can, because now they can possibly only clean this once a month. They can get it to brand new clean. And with that extra time, they can spend those resources cleaning other items, because that's really what happens, especially in the manufacturing. And this is one of the key pieces. In manufacturing, you've got equipment, and that equipment runs. And we're kind of spoiled with cars, because I know a lot of people think, well, you just put gas in and it goes. Well, you should be doing some oil changes regularly, and you should be doing some other things, before things break. Well, and in factories, it's a little more important to do that maintenance. But every single factory, and I grew up in, and I went to school for production and operations, how the factories run and what do you need to do. And the biggest problem over the years is how do you maintain the equipment between production, having time to get in, cleaning it regularly, making sure there's no broken parts or nothing that should be replaced before it breaks, because everything breaks at the inopportune time. It's during production, unless you do a preventative maintenance and you replace these things as they should be before they break. So here again, that's quality control. And and getting a handle on the maintenance. And then the environmental piece is, we're hot water and heat, or we're cold water and heat, really. But the process that the automotive company was using was chemicals. And I don't want to talk too bad, or the chemical companies are going to come after me, but it's truly, it's critical in being green. And fortunately, California, we think we're leading the way to be green. And just south of the border in Mexico, everything is going super green as well. We've got some clients that are in New York. New York has just put down some legislation that they are going to be not chemical free, but free of the VOCs, which is the real volatile ones, the isopropyl alcohol. I mean, and those are chemicals that work. If this is a metal piece and it's dirty, I can dip it in there and pull it out and it'll be clean. What it's doing to the environment, the evaporation, where, all those things, where we dispose of it with the dirt, that's a whole other issue that finally we're looking at, after, in some places in the Northeast, 200 years of manufacturing, filling up ponds and making a parking lot over it. Right. We're now serious about what we're going to do here. And, when you eliminate those things, it's tougher to clean. How are you going to clean it? Well, we think that we're providing a very good option for that. Like I said, it's not a magic wand. You just can't blow it over everything to make it. Some things need a little bit of agitation, and some things need just some old-fashioned, I call it pig soap, because that's where pigs, that's where soap started, from the fat of the pigs. It's a little bit of, a little bit of regular soap that could just be, rubbed on with the high pressure, the high temperature, and then things are cleaned like new.
I was going to say, can we clean the animals? No. I'm just kidding.
It's used afterwards. And actually, speaking of animals, this isn't an area that we focus on, but we find that people will buy one of these for a specific purpose.
Right.
Like the auto detailers, when we're up at the big show, I forget what show, but the big show up in LA, they'll buy it for auto detailing. Right. And then we'll see them the next year. And they bring a friend and they need one, and they wind up, taking it home, and it'll clean your oven. It'll clean your grill. And the one thing that we do have a lot of fun with is it'll clean diamond jewelry. And we've had guys who had their wives there, who the wives, they're controlling the money anyway, as it should be, or we'd spend everything on dumb toys. So, but they've bought these to have jewelry cleaning parties, because we do actually make a little bit simpler, smaller version that is used by jewelers all over the world. So when they take it back, if they're not using chemicals, they're using a machine like ours. And so they'll take it in the back. I can tell you, and if anybody wants to stop in to have your jewelry cleaned, it's like brand new. You walk out of there, it sparkles like it did in the showroom.
That's right. And John, I have to say it, but COVID-19 comes. It hits, and the world changed. And the world of a manufacturer cannot be the exception, right? So, John, can you tell us what changed in your plant? How did you have to adjust?
Number one, we've been recognized by the State Department for our work that we've done in the sanitizing and the humanitarian reliefs to eliminate COVID. So that was quite an honor. We have helped people to get back on track. We've sold our equipment to acupuncturists, dentists, orthodontists. Some guys up in Hollywood bought one to clean sets before the actors came in to do the filming. And so our production continued. And I got to say, it grew a little bit this year. However, what's been a challenge for us is our outreach to our customers. Because we like to do face-to-face. We like to, everybody wants to see their part. Like I said, we've got 100 videos that are out there. We clean almost everything you can think about, but everybody wants to see their specific part cleaned.
Right.
So, but we've improvised, and as I mentioned, we're working with an aerospace company up in New York, and so they'll send us stuff, and we can do it here, and we can show them how we clean it, the process that we use. And so that has allowed us, with this Zoom thing, I had a conference call the other day, 12 people from one company were on there to see, and from all the different departments, to see how this works and what this does. I don't think that I could have got all 12 of them together if I would have gone to visit them.
That's great.
So that's been our only kind of a holdback, is trying to figure out how we do that. We are looking forward to the borders and everything else being opened so that we can get back into and having those face-to-face conversations.
I saw that Carol unmuted herself. Carol, do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I would think your business is going to increase with COVID. I mean, it just seems like it's such a valuable tool now. I'm getting ready to go on a plane in about a month, and I'm, considering how I'm getting, the actual plane ride, and if it's going to be clean enough, and, how sanitized is it going to be. So I think this would be an awesome tool for them to have as well. So I would think it would increase it.
Yeah, it is. And we have grown, and, I don't have any reports. Somebody called me and they asked me if I had any reports that showed that we destroy the COVID virus.
Oh.
And, I've been looking on eBay and Amazon to see if I can get half a cup of COVID so I can do some tests. But, we don't have that yet. All I do know, in here again, talking with it, we're probably in 50 hospital groups throughout the country. They're using us in the sanitization processing department to clean and sanitize the tools that they use every day. And that's the proof for me that what we do works, because somebody had to go through some testing, and we do have a couple reports of some testing that was done from some of those specific departments. And so that's how we know it works. And really the hospital sales, because our equipment is a little more expensive than some of the things that are advertised out there as sanitizers right now. I think you get what you pay for. So, but not everybody can, not everybody wants to afford what we've got. The hospitals who have a specific need and they know what they needs to be done and done right, they buy our equipment.
Yeah.
Very good. And John, this leads to another question. So let's say that you mentioned earlier, going in chips and in the chips, you're able to have a crew that can clean, the dirtiest spots, but it's dark in there. And do you have a machine that may have some sort of a, night light or infrared, I don't know, something that can, get you with that machine in a spot that you can continue to do the work instead of, having some difficulties with flashlights?
Right. No, we haven't thought about that yet. That is something. Normally in most of the situations, even when we get in the deep, dark holes, they've got, we use the hang lights that the mechanics use.
Right.
So if we can plug our machine in, we can plug one of those in, and we hang that above, and that usually provides, it's kind of bare bulb light. Sometimes it's kind of bright, but it does show the shadows in the dirt.
Right, exactly. And John, we are in a very unique geographical location, and you know that. And it's the busiest border on earth. There's a lot of business going on, cross-border business. USMCA got signed, and we have all the cities in the South Bay that touches the water. So maritime industry is big, the aerospace industry is big, advanced manufacturing, food distribution. The logistics companies are always thriving in this area. But I want to pick your brain and kind of go in a route where you can take us and say, guys, COVID-19, post-COVID-19, this is how the manufacturing world is going to look like, and kind of tell us, what is needed along the way. And the reason why I asked is because we may have stakeholders, we may have elected officials, we may have all the movers and shakers that can make a difference. And by hearing this, can ring a bell and saying, John is right. What would that be?
Well, I'll have to say, as a smaller business owner, and I know most of those elected people have heard this, the biggest challenge that we have is the taxing. I mean, it's expensive. And here again, I'm not talking about the minimum wage piece, because we're paying people well above minimum wage. And that is one of the things that I truly think that this area needs, is more manufacturing, because the manufacturing jobs, they don't pay minimum wage. I mean, they're double and triple that easily. And so we need to have the manufacturers here. And, I mean, the South County EDC has done so much to help me to get established and get a strong foothold in this area of manufacturing. But I know, not everybody knows about you guys. And, and there's a lot of people that are out there struggling, and, California as a whole really needs to be a little bit more business friendly, and to draw those businesses in, because ours is the business. That's where the good jobs are going to come from. Correct. And the well-paying jobs and the growth. I mean, we've tripled in the last year and a half, and it's those type of growths that bring people here. Here again, we're always going to have the sunshine tax. We're always going to have a little bit higher, sales tax, and we're good with that. We're good. I mean, I can tell you, from Cincinnati to here, my heating bill dropped to almost nothing. So I got extra money to spend here or there. I'm not worried about that. It's just some of the business taxes that as that notches up every year, it's a little more expensive. And if we didn't have that, and we could hire one more person, we'd expand the business even more.
That's right, and I think you will be agreeing, and I totally agree with you what you say. And thanks for putting us on the spot too, because I think we need to do a better job in doing a more of an aggressive effort in promoting South County EDC, South County, and our predecessor, our new CEO, our board, our members. I mean, we have such an amazing group of stakeholders that are representing South County. We are doing our best to make sure that we promote South County. And I want to ask Carol, I mean, he's touching about, the workforce development as well, and just kind of give you an opportunity to ask a question regarding what, from your end, where you can see that a company like yours and any other workforce agencies can help a manufacturing company.
Well, yeah, I agree there. I agree with everything that was said as far as bringing more, getting the taxes down for businesses. That's been going on. I can tell you, I've been working in workforce development for 20 years, and that's always been the crisis of California, unfortunately. One of the things I think the South County EDC does really well is get a lot of the elected officials to the table And that has been terrific. I attend those meetings and I think, wow, even, representatives from the state are there, which is what I believe we really do need. From the workforce standpoint right now, as you know, I mean, so many of the jobs have been lost already. Businesses have closed. Tourism is down, but San Diego, I know for a fact that it's already on the upswing. We're seeing jobs every day that are popping back up again. Retail coming back, which honestly, I didn't think retail would come back this quickly, but it has. So we're seeing a lot more jobs lately in the last month, basically. So I think that it's, it is a challenge with manufacturing, I will say. I mean, it's even, been part of the debate issue, but in California, definitely, I know there's other states that give a lot of incentives to companies to, put themselves down in that state. We need to get those same kind of incentives, I think. But anyway, but from a workforce standpoint, absolutely. And what you said about the fact that manufacturing jobs are 3 times, sometimes more in hourly wage, that is absolutely true. And that's what we've been promoting to our clients for the last couple of years, is to try, to get into a skilled trade like that so that they can earn a higher wage for their family, if they want to stay living here in beautiful sunshine. Yeah.
That is correct. Well, thank you so much, Carol. With that said, what about, John, any closing remarks about that?
No,
what would you say to our future, generation of workforce that is thinking, hey, where should I go look for a job? Things look so tough. I don't even know if there are going to be any good paying jobs tomorrow. Where should I go? Should I go back to school? What should I do? And if you can just light a little bit of hope here, and give those closing remarks to them, what would you say?
No, I would say that truly manufacturing, the United States was founded on it. We've ebbed and flowed, but we still do a lot of it here. More and more of it is done with the smaller manufacturers, even if they're doing assemblies for the larger ones. More and more of that. And those are the jobs that actually pay. They require some specific knowledge. And I know there's a lot of schools and a lot of areas out there where they can get that knowledge. And then there's a lot of entry things where they're going to come in and they're going to learn. I don't care, even if you got your master's degree, when you get your first job, that's where you learn really what you need to know. So,
that's the truth.
but they do need to have a basic background. And then here again, there are so many different things that are made here in the United States, and more of them are made. If we can keep that going, the people, if they've got a basic knowledge, basic understanding, and a basic education to be able to go and have that, want to learn, want to make things, because we like to buy the things that are made, and understanding where those come from and understanding that they come from our backyard, right here in San Diego and all over the country. Backyards, things are being made, things are being used here. Good jobs, allowing people to afford those things. There's to be hope. There's a ton of hope there. I mean, we're manufacturing more here in the United States than we have been for probably the past 10 or 15 years. We can only make that better.
And I'm going to close by saying, John, you're manufacturing hope. And thank you so much for doing this today, kicking off our manufacturing series of sessions, of virtual Zoom sessions now. Who would have thought? We used to do it in person and go, to manufacturing plants and tour their plants and things like this. But this is new, and we're adjusting, and this was great. So thank you so much, John, and everybody that was connected. With us, we had John Newhart, the president of Dry Vapor Cleaner. His contact information is on the screen, and we're very thankful today for you all to be connected with us. And don't forget that we have a series of manufacturing presentations, virtual tours, as however you want to call it. October 14th today with John Newhart, October 20th with High-Tech Commercial Solutions, and October 21st with Newbie Drone. So please go to our Eventbrite website so we can sign up there. And if you can't find it, you can send us an email or call us so you can register to any of our Manufacturing Day October series. And with that said, we thank everybody. Thank you, John, everybody that connected, and everybody that's going to be viewing this. Again, I'm going to just leave with the last thought. Manufacturing hope. And I think we'll be okay if we work together. Thank you, everybody, and have a great day.